Hello fellow modelers, Bruce here again. A couple weeks ago I did a short video in which I highlighted a model manufacturer called Muir Models. And I thought from time to time I would highlight some other kit manufacturers that either are still in production or have passed into history. The one I'm going to show you today, I'm really not sure whether it's still in existence. I see there's a website that looks like it's active, but when I try to access it, I get a big warning that it's not a safe site. So, I've ignored that in the past to my own peril, so I haven't gone any further. But the manufacturer is Builders and Scale. If it does exist, it is no longer being run by the original owners. Builders and Scale, I would say, is just a notch ahead of some of the other manufacturers of their time. And their time, from what I can tell, would be the 1980s and 1990s primarily. Not sure the exact years, but they had quite a wide range of kits available. On the lower end, cost-wise, was what they called their Evening Express series, smaller kits that, you couldn't really do it in one evening, but certainly it was not a kit of a large structure and so forth, but it possessed pretty much all the characteristics of their larger kits. I have two of their smaller kits here. I've had a third one which I built. I would show it to you, but the structure is buried in a box of the kits that I packed away when I moved from New Jersey. But Builders and Scale. Let me show you one of them. It doesn't matter which one. This one is a pump and boiler house that would sit next to, or they had it sitting next to a water tank. Let's open it up and see. It's a wood kit, which shouldn't be a surprise to those of you who follow my YouTube channel. You know that I am a fan of wood kits. Besides the wood needed to build it, it was not uncommon, as a matter of fact it was very common, for them to have some resin castings, which these two are. You can see there's a slant edge on here, and those two would fit together, forming a 90-degree angle, and I'll show you what that did. The fancy part is down against the cardboard, so you can't see it here, but you will see it in the picture I show you in a minute. They always included a fairly good number of castings. Some of the castings are doors and windows, white metal castings. I see lampshades in there. I see some barrels and crates. I see an oil tank. Kind of similar to a number of other manufacturers of that time period. Some packaged coal here. This was actually inside the box. I would imagine that it was from the seller. Some paper that might be for roofing. A membership card for the NMRA, and their address on this one was not any of their recent ones, so this goes back a bit, that's for sure. So NMRA, cardstock templates for the roof. So that's so far wood, metal, cardstock, and resin. So a variety of different materials in the kit. I think you can see this. Let me see here if I get it a little closer. Here's where you see where the resin is. That's a stone foundation that is made out of resin that you would put together. There's that 90-degree angle. Fairly detailed instructions, 6 pages of instructions. Another characteristic of all their kits is diagrams that are made to look like blueprints. So there that is. And it's in their Evening Express series. So HO scale, and they have various views of the structure, elevations. All of their kits that I've ever had have the blueprints. And another thing that they usually include in the kits is a kind of a schematic, a layout. This was the Denver South Park and Pacific Railroad in the town of Jefferson Park, Colorado. And they show where the pump and boiler house was. And it's over here next to the water tank. And also in here, besides a Y and so forth, there was a spur out to a stockyard, a station here. The route went to Como down this direction and to the Kenosha Pass and Denver Railroad up in this one. So yeah, most of their kits had these kinds of layout schematics as to where the structure actually existed. So nice little kit, fairly quick to build. I'm not going to go through every one of these kits, but here's the other small one. This is a scale house for either a rail or truck pad. They give you both. So again, here's the blueprints. Okay. And here's where I came up with one date. I always look for dates on the instructions. The only place I found a date was on this blueprint down here in Roman numerals, which means, the Gen Xers, I guess Gen Zs, wouldn't have a clue as to what MCMXC is, but it's 1990 for those of us who actually learned how to read Roman numerals. So, and then the instructions and so forth. And again, wood, metal castings, some paper for the roofing. In this case, the resin is for the base in which that structure would sit. And again, just kind of a nice little quick kit. So, as I said, I built one of their small ones. I have 2 others up on the shelf. At some point, I will probably build those. So that was one category of their kits, the small, weekend kits, I'll call them. A second level of their kits were those kits that had a single structure inside. Pretty hefty, which will tell you that there's either some resin castings or white metal castings of detail parts in here. This is the Tennessee Pass Depot. Of the kits I'm going to show you, this kit is the only one of the ones I have here that I've actually seen as I visited layouts. I saw this on 2 different layouts, nicely made up. This was their kit number 7 in HO scale. And again, I'm not going to take the time to show you all of the parts in here, but again, to give you an idea, cardstock templates for the roofing, different packages of wood, well labeled, a rather hefty box of detail parts, many detail parts. So the windows, the doors, and other details for around the station. And we have, it looks like a roll of Campbell shingles, and Here's the resin castings for the foundation, I would imagine. In this case, it is here's a nice picture of the station made up. Maybe at the end of the video, I'll show a picture of one of the ones that I've seen on a layout. So 11 pages of instructions in this case. And I would imagine this is blueprints, which it is. There's the blueprints for you. So very nice kit. Yeah, this one I picked up along the way. I'm not sure I have a spot for it, so at some point on one of my videos I might announce that people who are interested let me know. I'll put a price up including shipping, and that one might go for sale. So that's kind of a second level of kits. Larger obviously than the weekend kits, but a single structure. And then they had a series of kits that were limited runs that usually were multiple structures, lots of details. And this is Wiry & Sons, well drilling and irrigation. That was their first kit number 1 of the limited run series. Number 2, boy, these are hefty kits, lots of resin and detail parts. G.W. Nichols wood with lumberyard, and you can see multiple structures there in the picture. So again, that was kit number 2 of their larger kits. And the third one that I have is number 8 in their series, and this is the heftiest of them all. Sasson Vinegar Works. And again, I have not seen this on a layout, but I do have a friend who modeled it, and I might be able to get some pictures of his rendition. I think he also had Wiry & Sons well drilling, so I might be able to put some pictures at the end of these. So these are they're larger kits. These would be, you know, the equivalent of some of the fine scale miniature kits that were put out with multiple structures, and you know, somewhat in the same category price-wise too. These are, when you see them on eBay, always pricier than the single structures, and a lot pricier, of course, than the weekend kits that normally are in the, I would say $30, $35 range, maybe down into even the upper 20s. So that's builders and scale, fine kits, and always worth your look if you see them come up for sale. And I did see one come up for sale, and it's a single structure. It was priced extremely reasonable and allowed offers, which I made and was accepted, and plenty of room for this on my layout. So let's see what it is. It's yeah, at this price, if I didn't buy it, I have friends who would love to have this kit, and I didn't want to let it disappear into the sunset. So, let's see, this might be the easiest way to get this one out of here. Nicely packed. Let's see what we got here. There we go, the usual boxing. The CG&T Hose Company, so they're manufacturers of canvas hosing, And you can see it's kind of a nice structure. It would stand out on your layout because it's got the hose tower on it and kind of a fancy false front and so forth. So yeah, I kind of couldn't resist. And here's this kit number 605, and it says that it was a run of 1400, and that's the instruction manual, and some pictures of it from different perspectives. And this sounds like, or looks like, the blueprints, which it is. Okay, different elevations. Here's your packets of wood. This has got, again, the white metal castings for doors, windows, and other details. Now we got, well, by the way, Builders and Scale at one time sold separately their own corrugated metal, so that's probably their own. It's not Campbell. It looks like a template for the roofing out of cardstock. They even included a T-pin. Yep, a nice structure to build here. So yeah, this one I think at some point you will see me make. There's either dry transfers or decals. I'll have to see it. Probably decals. And at some point I'll build this one and probably do a YouTube video on it. But Builders and Scale, nice, very nice kit manufacturer. And if you keep watching, you'll see these come up on eBay quite often. That's it for this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Costs you nothing, takes a few seconds, helps my channel out tremendously. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. And I really appreciate you following along, and I will see you soon. In the meantime, happy modeling.